In the first reading, Isaiah prophesies of a day when the eyes of the blind will be opened, the ears of the deaf be cleared, and streams will burst forth in the desert. Brant Petrie comments that the prophecy of water bursting forth in a desert is a reference to the water that gushed forth from a rock in a desert that Moses struck during the Israelites' exodus from Egypt to the Promised Land. We have that in Numbers 20 and Exodus 17. Isaiah prophesies that not only will a miracle like this occur in a greater new Exodus in the future, but also the deaf will hear and the blind will see. In intentionally fulfilling these prophecies, Jesus reveals himself in John's Gospel to the Samaritan woman as offering not physical waters that bring forth physical life, but spiritual waters that bring forth eternal life. Jesus also reveals himself as fulfilling the other two prophecies of Isaiah by causing the blind to see and the deaf to hear, as we heard in today's gospel passage. By our baptism into the life of Christ, we are called to be an extension of Jesus' presence in this world. As pointed out by a pope, we are called to be extensions of Jesus' presence not only by words, not only by proclaiming the good news of Jesus Christ orally, but also by loving as Jesus did, who healed the blind, cured the lepers, and healed the lame. With God's grace, we are both to speak words of truth, especially the truth of Jesus, and are to love by healing our brothers and sisters, even if this is simply by a calm presence or a kind word to a brother or sister in distress, or by helping to heal people who are spiritually blind and spiritually deaf. We shine forth the light of Jesus in two primary ways: truth and service. Truth and service. These two primary ways of establishing the kingdom of Jesus in hearts and minds contrast with two primary ways of establishing the kingdom of this fallen world in hearts and minds. The typical fallen world approach of influencing, of establishing its kingdom, is by displays of power and the promise of pleasure, especially by instant gratification. In his spiritual exercises, Ignatius of Loyola challenges us to make a choice between two options that he calls two standards, which are essentially two flags. One option is to follow the standard of the world, which promises happiness through the possession of more and more power and more instant gratification, more and more instant pleasure. This happiness will always be a pursuit of happiness, running after it but never experiencing it. It'll always be one step ahead of us, beyond our grasp, since no amount of power and pleasure will ever satisfy our hearts that are created for eternal reality, not for finite reality, can only be satisfied by eternal love, eternal happiness, eternal pleasure actually, which is eternal happiness, and that only God can give. The other standard that Ignatius points us to is a standard born by Jesus Christ. It also promises happiness. Jesus promises happiness, but one that we experience now. We don't have to keep on pursuing it now. How? Through truth and through service. God bless.